so we're still all anticipating Sonic Frontiers, even though they have nothing to show for it. But nonetheless, we can still hope and dream what we want to see for the game at least. And as we know, Sonic Frontiers is going to be open world, or as they describe themselves, open zone. And if we go further and take a look at some leaks, we know the game will have 4 areas, according to leaks, not 100% confirmed, but 4 main areas, which kind of reminds me of Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you haven't played that game's open worlds are separated by regions. You pick a region and then you travel to that little open area. I hope Frontiers isn't exactly like that and it's more seamless. But before we get into the nitty-bitty details, I want to talk about open world games as a whole, what Sonic Frontiers needs to aspire to be, and what it should stay away from doing. But first, I want to talk about what it should not do. And step 1, don't be a Ubisoft game. And what do I mean by this? I mean an open world where a lot of the activities are copy and pasted and don't offer much uniqueness. And a lot of Ubisoft games, let's take some of the recent Assassin's Creed games, you start off by doing something that seems really fresh and cool and unique, but then you go all over the world and see that same thing quite literally over and over and over, just in a different location. It also creates a lot of negative space in these games where you just go to a place and there's nothing really there. It's just a place with nothing. Open world games need to feel unique and fresh and have something interesting going on most of the time. When I open the map in Sonic Frontiers, if it has a map feature, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this on my screen. This is a lot, and it's a lot of the same icons telling you that these same things are just plastered all over the world. This might be a new take, a fresh take perhaps. I want the Elden Ring approach. Elden Ring so far has been an amazing open world game, and I have no problem calling this game a masterpiece, and it'll probably be Game of the Year if I'm honest. This game hardly marks anything on the map, and you may be thinking, that's kind of bad, then what's the point of the map? I mean, it still has its uses of telling you where to go and pointing you in the right direction, but it doesn't spoil the surprises that's all over the world. And honestly, Breath of the Wild does this as well. If we take a look at the Breath of the Wild map, there's a lot of stuff on here. A lot of it is mostly shrines though, which are also used as fast travel points, and their locations, and that's about it. But there's lots of hidden secrets in Breath of the Wild that aren't marked on this map for you. It's up to you to go find it and discover it. And I don't like the Ubisoft approach of telling you everything that's on the map and making it feel overwhelming with copy and pasted activities. So Sonic Frontiers, when you come out, let's please avoid that. Now, I don't think that Sonic Frontiers is going to be open-ended in the slightest, and personally, I'm okay with that. I think it should be a bit more mission structured because Sonic, I think, works best in linearity, which may be surprising to hear since, it's an open world game, but I think having things for Sonic to do that are set out for him usually end up working a lot better and actually make it feel more engaging, I feel like, because of Sonic's speed. If there's a lot of things that just make Sonic stop and go, I think it becomes kind of annoying. That's why I think some games like Sonic Lost World are a bit meh in my opinion. It's got somewhat open-ended level design, but there's so much stop and go in that game and it's not really that fun. A great example is actually Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is open world, but there are missions in the open world as well, and that's probably the structure that Sonic is going to have with the cyberspace levels, is you're probably going to make your way to the cyberspace levels and go through a normal generation / Unleashed, hopefully not Force's boost stage, and you'll probably come out on the other end with a Chaos Emerald. That would be pretty similar to Halo Infinite. You traverse the open world to get to the next mission. You could say it's a glorified hub world, but if it's a hub world with stuff to do and stuff that's important outside of the cyberspace levels, I think it will make for a great open world. And now we've already kind of talked about variety, but in this way, I think variety needs to be apparent, and it is the enemy design. This is something that Breath of the Wild even somehow dropped the ball on. In Breath of the Wild, you'll see pretty much the same pool of enemies throughout the entire game. Elden Ring, on the other hand, the newest open world game, which is a masterpiece once again, is pretty good with that. Honestly, most areas have something new, something fresh, something you're fighting that you haven't fought before, and I think it really livens up the game is when the enemies you're fighting aren't the same copy and pasted enemies, or a red one, or oh now it's yellow, and I hope Sonic Frontiers doesn't do that. And I know, again, I'm asking a lot, but honestly, Sonic games, they just need to be great. I can't really ask for passable anymore. I want everything to be as good as it can be, and something like that is a detail that will help keep things fresh. I want to see new enemies on the different islands, kind of like how Pokemon Legends Arceus switches up which Pokemon are on which region. That will help the game feel fresh. But all in all, what I really wanted to take from these games is just not to be boring, aka don't be a Ubisoft game. Now, something that I'm kind of interested about is the combat. How exactly is this combat going to play out? Is it going to last for an entire open world before getting stale? They did mention that Sonic will have his signature dexterity in his combat. We don't know exactly what that means, but it's referring to speed of some kind, particularly with, punches and whatnot, and probably kicks too. I wonder how much will be homing attacking compared to punching and kicking stuff, but I hope there's a skill tree involved in this open world, and there's stuff to find that helps you get skill tree points and level it up. I'm actually a big fan of skill trees. They can open up games quite a bit. Sometimes skill trees feel unnecessary, but hopefully they have enough stuff in the skill tree to make it feel like you're actually progressing through the game. And skill trees are pretty common in pretty much every open world game, and that's something that I think most open world games typically get right. Even the Ubisoft ones is skill trees, so I would be kind of crazy if they messed up skill trees in this game. And there's a lot of things I want this game to take from other open world games, but mainly I want Sonic to stamp his identity on this game to where you know that it's a Sonic game. I don't want it to just be like these games I mentioned. I want it to take ideas and turn it into its own and make it Sonic-like. Whether that's with the physics or level design or characters, I want this game to feel like Sonic in an open world, and not an open world that has Sonic. Let me know in the comments below, what kind of things do you want to see in Sonic Frontiers? And let's have a discussion about it. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and like always, I'll see you in the next one.